What's up, beautiful people? Today in this video, we're taking a look at U.S. entry into World War I with history through political cartoons. When World War I broke out in 1914, the response of the U.S. under President Wilson was neutrality. The Wilson administration, though, would quickly find out that it was hard to both protect American trading rights and freedom of the seas and our neutrality. The bayonets in this cartoon reflect the difficulties the U.S. face. Now, America was lucky that we have a giant ocean between us and Europe. That's the Atlantic for you geographically challenged viewers. But American ships were regularly sailing to Europe to deliver supplies to various trading partners. While Wilson felt the U.S. should enjoy freedom of the seas, the Germans responded to the British blockade of the continent with a new weapon of war, the submarine. In early February 1915, Germany announced that any ship attempting to get to Britain would be at risk for being sunk by German U-boats. The first major threat to U.S. neutrality came when on May 1915, a German submarine sunk the British passenger ship, the Lusitania. Amongst the dead were 128 Americans, and in response to the sinking, Wilson sent Germany a diplomatic message warning them that any further attacks on unarmed ships would not be tolerated. While Germany assured the Wilson administration that no further attacks would take place, a few more ships would be sunk by Germany, including the French ship Sussex in March of 1916. In response to these new attacks, President Wilson threatened to terminate American diplomatic relations with Germany, which is a step short of actually declaring war. As you can see in this cartoon, Uncle Sam is not too happy with the Germans. Not wanting to risk the U.S. joining the war on the side of the Allies, Germany responded with the Sussex Pledge, which promised not to attack any passenger or merchant ships without giving warning and an opportunity for passengers to evacuate the ship. While this battle over freedom of the seas was playing out, the British government made sure the American public was fed a steady dose of anti-German propaganda. In spite of all these issues, from 1914 to 1917, the U.S. did manage to stay out of the war. During Wilson's re-election campaign in 1916, he ran on the slogan, "He kept us out of war." However, there were critics to Wilson's neutrality. This particular cartoon shows Wilson and his re-election slogan, but depicts Wilson looking shook as he is being told that a U-boat has made his way into New York Harbor. Critics of Wilson, amongst them Teddy Roosevelt, argued that the U.S. needed to do more to get ready for a possibility of war, or we may find the threat coming to America's doorsteps. Eventually, the U.S. would declare war on Germany in April 1917, and the biggest reason for this shift was the fact that Germany in early 1917 decided to resume unrestricted submarine warfare. Germany knew this would provoke America and more than likely lead the U.S. to join in the Allies. But Germany hoped by cutting off supplies to the Allies, they would quickly win the war in Europe before the U.S. could send over troops. By late January of 1917, Wilson cut off diplomatic relations with Germany. And adding fuel to the already hot fire was the revelation that Germany made a secret offer to Mexico in a document called the Zimmermann Telegram. Unfortunately for Germany, the secret telegram was intercepted by British intelligence. In the telegram to Mexico from German Foreign Minister Arthur Zimmermann, Germany proposed that Mexico join an alliance with Germany, and in return, Germany would help Mexico recover territory lost to the U.S. during the Mexican-American War, namely Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. The Zimmermann telegram angered many Americans who were still committed to pursuing neutrality. Germany was actively trying to plan to take territory from the U.S. that we had taken from Mexico just 69 years ago. How dare they? Clearly, the Zimmermann telegram backfired on Germany. All it did was arouse nationalist anger in the U.S. and increase calls to go to war. As a result of all these things, President Wilson asked Congress for a declaration of war. In his speech to the joint session of Congress, he not only condemned Germany's U-boat policy, but also stated the world must be made safe for democracy. Be sure to check out our next video in the description. We're going to take a look at the U.S. home front and World War I. Let me know in the comments which cartoon was your favorite, and have a beautiful day. Peace.